Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 11, episode 7.
We're halfway,
11,
so
7,
I'm
7,
guessing
11.
7-11. I'm guessing we're having 14 episodes, 2 reunions is my
Yes, because we
guess.
got the mid-season trailer.
Yes. Which I like, what do you call it? Made a little TikTok.
We did a blind reaction on TikTok.
That's it. That's the word. It's my first TikTok, everybody.
It's everyone go watch. Let me tell you how.
Yeah.
So first, we have the A&M Podcast Network, which is this podcast. It has Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, which also has Winter House and Summer House Martha's Vineyard on it. And we have our gem of a podcast that we'll never get rid of, One Season Wonders. Please, what?
Well, I was gonna say I was watching Watch What Happens Live with Ariana, and they played a game, and somebody called Real Housewives of DC a 1-season wonder, and I was like, we know those well.
I can't wait. Add it to the list. Also, rate, review, subscribe. That's where I was getting turned around because we have a new review from, if you will, Lady Swamp Witch.
Oh my god! Well, back in full force, Lady Swamp Witch. We appreciate it.
Obviously, it's 5 stars. It's titled Love This Podcast, and it says, I love the Vanderpump content, and these women are so funny.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to start quoting our reviews to my friends about me.
Actually, I also want to say my friend, I'll just shout her out. My friend Lainey was listening to the podcast, and she cracked up when I said, like, oh, when you're down, I'm up. So just stay that way. And she was like, you are literally the funniest. And I was like, don't make my head bigger.
But I told you right before we started recording our pre-show that you were really on one lately. Like, you were being really funny.
What I thought was my depression, but it's actually just me being overwhelmed. Who knew? You know, it's one and the same sometimes.
Hey, when you're so overwhelmed with life, you're hilarious. So there's the positive spin.
This is the light. Okay. So we have an Instagram and we have a TikTok at Vanderpasta. That's where you can go see Meredith's first ever TikTok. I'm on it a lot, just bullshitting my way through the days.
I'm going to start doing it. I'm learning. I'm new. I'm like the little TikTok intern on this group.
Yeah, we're so excited. And then we have Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get really quickly. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I, and sometimes Sarah, when her internet works, talk about whatever the hell we want because it's our show. And also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. I'm sure it'll be in the Patreon first. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons, we'll do an after show. So we can do like Bravo News and spoilers on the after show and not on the actual podcast. But since we're in live seasons, we'll just do
we'll just say it all, anywhere and everywhere.
Everything, all the spoilers, all the news on this podcast if we want and we remember. Also, I'll say her name on the podcast or attempt to because it seems like reading is hard for me today. So bless up. Let's see what I can do. Thank you to, if you could not laugh right now.
It's the
I'm focused. Thank you to Allie, Chris, Darby, D, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Jennifer, Kirsten, Casey, Kelsey, Chrissy, Lady Swamp Witch, Lauren, Robin, Sammy, Sarah L, Sarah R, Tierney, Tonette, Tracy, Emily, Gina, Isabella, Leanne, Rio, Taylor, and Tara.
Woohoo!
You know, I made it. I gotta get used to Lady Swamp Witch being here.
I know. She's back. You gotta get used to it. She's here for Vanderpump. I mean, this is the time to be a patron.
It just gets crazy, you know? Okay. And then what else do you get? Oh, we have $5 a month. And this is where we post, mostly me, but sometimes Meredith when I forget. We post in our Patreon and ask for your thoughts, questions, opinions, concerns. You give it to us. We read them on the podcast. They're very long and I can't read very well. So if you want to give me short little bursts, that's also fine.
Alicia's struggling.
I'll take a long one. I'm just stressed. I see the long paragraph and I feel anxiety.
It throws you back to like school when you're like counting out the paragraphs.
When I have to read out loud.
And you're like, do I know all these words? And you read it 7 times. But Alicia has to do that, like read the whole book.
Because I claim to be a reader, huh? Anyway, also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So, I'm prepared again. Bet you thought I wasn't. Okay, so this week's patron, I just want to make sure. Yeah, patron of the episode is gonna have to be Tracy.
Yeah.
Because it looks like Tracy put bullet points, and so I like that. And I'm not trying to like leave you off if you didn't do bullet points, but I need a reason to choose people, and so I do first thing that pops into my head, and that's just my reason, you know.
Alicia is saying she does like bullet points, everybody.
It just breaks it up a little bit, you know? Or if you just separate like with paragraphs, which other people did do.
You can pull multiple times, like whatever your heart desires.
I see paragraphs. I see bullet points. That's lovely.
Small words, bullet points broken up. Please. Thank you, everybody.
When it's all one big paragraph, I feel it in my soul. Okay, well, let's get into the episode.
Let's do it.
Okay, so previously on Vanderpump Rules, the crew went to Tahoe. What's up with that person, Joe? Who the fuck? Anyway, Sandoval misses the love he had with Rachel. Scheana's really struggling with her friendship with Sandoval. Ariana and Katie don't understand where Scheana's coming from, and Scheana gets roasted over an internet photo, which I still feel bad about.
I feel bad that she got roasted, but she doesn't get to have my like sadness for her as much because of then the subsequent episode she had.
I just think you need to think about what Scheana's feels more.
Oh,
everyone does.
You're right. I never make it about her. So let me.
You know what? Meredith and I spent the whole pre-show talking about Kate Middleton when we should have been talking about what Scheana feels about.
Every time I think about something or I feel something in my head, I literally say, I mean, you're not really thinking about how Scheana's feeling.
Yeah, is Scheana okay with Kate Middleton? That should have been our question.
Like, is Scheana okay that I had a rough day today? Like, I should be thinking about if she had a rough day.
She probably had a rougher day. Yeah, so, okay, we start the episode with like montages and stuff. I just want to talk about how at Scheana and Brock's apartment, Summer Moon, what a savage, she goes, "Mommy, I want you to fall down." And I started laughing, thinking she just wanted Scheana to like injure herself.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a game where they're like, "Oh no, fall down," like a kid. I thought Summer Moon's going to push her down the stairs and be like, "I know." Down,
they were just like sitting on a beanbag and I was like, what does this mean?
I think Summer Moon hates everyone. She's a savage. I love her so much.
You know what Summer Moon's thinking is like Scheana makes it about her too much, and like why isn't anything about Summer Moon?
But like it is about, like, in my head, I care so much about Summer and I want her to know that. I would never block her.
No.
So then we go to Tom and Ariana's house. Sandoval's back and is greeted by Anne, who is dressed like Barbie because she's going to see the Barbie movie. And I hope Anne really liked it. I think we just need to be aware of Anne's feelings too.
I think she probably really enjoyed it.
I do too.
You know what? She probably had the best time. And I love that she dressed like Barbie. Like, love that for her. Hate that she got caught by Tom. Because she was just probably like, I hope I get to sneak out of here before he comes back. I just love hoping that Anne's okay. Like, always. I love that we take a second to think, did Anne enjoy Barbie? Andy Cohen asked Ariana on Watch What Happens Live, like, how Anne is doing. And Ariana said she couldn't really speak on it. Anna's not her assistant. Ariana doesn't have an assistant. But things are in the works. And I'm like, what does that mean?
If she hires Anne?
Like, can you imagine if, like, Anne becomes, like, another face of, like, something about her?
Stop. Yeah, stop. You can't stop.
Like, so many great
Something
things.
About Anne?
Something about... I want a sandwich named after Anne. She deserves it.
The Anne. Just, like, the most basic name. I love it. Okay, so Ariana is at the house when Sandoval gets back. She hears him. Anyway, Sandoval tells Anne how he wasn't ignored at the airport, and that was the best. He says there were fights, but there were resolutions, and Sandoval thinks the trip went good. He's being humanized, and he feels optimistic.
Notice how the trip goes good because of other people's behavior, but, like, he acts like he has no control on, like, how people treat him.
He's the victim. We keep forgetting.
I mean, between him and Scheana, the delusion is strong.
Stop talking about Scheana. Anyway, so...
I'm trying to think about her.
She's always on my mind now. So,
I mean, if not, I'm going to slap my wrist. I think I need, like, a rubber band to snap it when I stop thinking about her.
Speaking of Scheana, she goes to Villa Rosa to visit Lisa. Where Lisa's training her new dog, Donut.
I'm like, what do you need to train that fluff ball? Like, what?
I don't know.
What's the dog gonna do?
Donut's not gonna run very far.
No.
Very fast, very chilled dog. Anyway, Scheana shares with Lisa how she cried her eyelashes off, which made me giggle. I cried so hard my eyelashes.
She was like, they were so dry and brittle. And I was like, what?
And Lisa was like, no way. And like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I love it.
I guess I'm not like that much of a girl or that much who cries. Like what makes
Do you have fake eyelashes?
that crying those off makes a little bit of sense, but to say your eyelashes are brittle now because you cried so much, like I guess that could happen to like any human because everybody has eyelashes, but never heard of it.
Scheana gets them, they're fake.
I know nothing.
Oh. Well, the glue, she like it got crusty when she had her tears.
Oh no.
So Sheena's currently going through the stages of grief with her friendship with Sandoval, which I think's fine. Grieve it, whatever.
But there's a difference between grieving it and becoming best friends again.
She's not best friends with him though.
I know, but I think that's where these conversations are super weird because there's like two different asks here and two different ones on like, are you looking to grieve and forgive him and be cordial with him, or are you looking to have him back in your life?
Yes, but also we are 3 months, right? So like Ariana also, I'm sure, is still very mad, as we see. And though she hasn't been like, you can forgive him, what Ariana has said is, if he is in your life, I will be out of it.
Yeah.
But I think Scheana doesn't know where that line Ariana is, right?
True.
So like, is Ariana going to be mad if Scheana forgives?
How much of having him in his life? Like if they're at Sir and he just pops up like he does this episode.
Like if Scheana gets up and gives him a hug, is Ariana mad about that? Can she say, I have forgiven Sandoval, and Ariana will get mad about that?
Yeah, where does the boundary actually lie?
Which I think is why Scheana and Ariana need to just have a conversation about it.
I agree. But I also think it matters about intention too, you know?
Yes. I think what Scheana intends, but I also think if someone's like, don't be friends with this person, you're like, don't tell me what to do kind of shit.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of miscommunication happening. And I think it's all 3 months after. So like Ariana's not going to be okay with you at this point, probably even forgiving him, where Scheana wants to grieve and forgive and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think also, I just think it's a mess. I think
that's true. It definitely is.
So it's hard for Scheana to explain to Ariana how she's feeling about Sandoval. And she said, the Sandoval issues have ever only been about Ariana, not about Scheana, which I said that's false because Scheana got a whole ass restraining order.
We talked about it at the reunion. We all felt for her.
Supported her.
Yes.
She had to be 100 yards.
And like, you talked about this a bunch on your podcast. I know Alicia here, listen and watch, like, you became a talking head and like did make money. And I'm not like trying to put her in the same box of like Rachel, where it's like, oh, you got paid to do this and this was your choice. But like, you're not being exiled and like told to shut up or like not allowed to talk about this.
Yeah, my thing was, Scheana, as a fan, I was making it about you too.
Yes.
And so I'm upset that you're not recognizing that. And I didn't even make it that much about you. So I'm sure there were other fans that were more involved.
Well, it kind of makes it feel like if we're not supporting her to the level of Ariana, then then it's nothing to her.
Yeah, whereas like, dude, you didn't lose your whole ass relationship and your house and like your life and like your future.
You
lost 2 best friends.
Yeah, fine. 2 friends. Yeah.
Great. You know, kind of thing.
You were lied to.
I felt for her. And she got the restraining order. Yes. I was pissed for her. So what? I did make it about you, Scheana. Don't you dare.
Yeah.
So Scheana does feel like her feelings aren't being validated, which your feelings are valid, Scheana, but like,
also validate your own feelings. Like a lot of it does need to come from you. Like you're kind of projecting this onto someone else for not like saying exactly what you want. But and I have trouble with this too, but like it all starts and ends with you anyways. Like you got to be happy no matter what other people are doing.
Agreed. And then Scheana talks about dancing with this stuff.
I had already seen this clip because it has been circulating for a week.
Listen. We talked about this.
Yes.
You can be sad for yourself and happy for someone else. I think that's fine. I think if anything, this is just funny because when Scheana tells Lisa about Dancing with the Stars, Lisa knows immediately. She's like,
Yes.
"Oh, Scheana, no."
Sheena, I know how much you wanted that.
This must be public that Scheana really fucking wanted this, and I just
In their group, it must have been talked about a
yeah.
lot.
Also, Scheana took dance lessons because she thought if Scandal blew up, she might be asked to be on Dancing with the Stars.
But here's my thing, like, that doesn't get you picked.
No, but I see her thought. I
Yes,
do.
yes.
I do. I see it. It could be her. It could be anyone. It could have been Katie. It could have been Lala. It could have been Ariana.
100%. And I love her, like, being prepared because she wants to do really well. This is, like, something she's
That's
really
hilarious.
wanted. I
That's
understand
funny.
that. But she kind of uses that as, like, a reason she should have been picked. Like, well, I've been practicing. And it's like,
Oh, I
this
didn't
isn't,
take it like that.
I kind of did. Like, the way she's
Oh.
like, I have been, practicing and then, like, I don't get picked. And it's like, this isn't a tryout.
Oh, I didn't take it like that. I took it as like maybe she's overly fucking sensitive about it.
Oh,
I
she
took it more
is.
of I took it
Not
more
me.
of like
She
she's
is.
really sad for herself. Which is fine, be sad, but also like it's just Dancing with the Stars.
But like her interview, her like talking head interview is more like bitterness comes out in that.
Okay,
more.
so before that, and then in her interview, she says, first she says she's happy for Ariana, but sad for herself. And then she says, good for Ariana. She's come a long way from being my backup dancer. I was like,
with the
you're rude.
smile, the smirk, that was gross.
I was like, you're rude. But also,
you're not Beyonce.
I think you can be sad for yourself, happy for someone else, but when you throw shit like that in, you're putting bitter.
Her down for no reason. She did that as a favor to you. You probably did not pay her. You were no superstar. And there are often times where like somebody who is a backup vocalist becomes a superstar, and that's great. It just comes off like she's so bitter that Ariana like surpassed her, and like she used to be like incredible in her heyday, and it's like you're dating yourself.
I didn't take it like that. I thought that comment super sucked. Yeah, but I didn't take this that seriously with Scheana. I think everything Scheana does is I'm like, don't take that seriously.
I know. I think it kind of reminds me of like the Lindsay Hubbard stuff. You like takes things differently than I do.
Yeah, and I don't get so mad about it.
Well, it's because Scheana like throws down and is like, nobody cares about me. And then she's like a shitty friend to Ariana. I'm like, all right, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I think Sheena's just that way. Like
I know.
At this point, Sheena's never going to change, right? Like there is no change. She is who she is. She's always been that way. It has been about Scheana. This whole show is honestly built around fucking Sheena's affair.
Yeah.
She still is delusional about it. So it's funny. It's just, and like, listen, the whole internet is talking about how delusional Scheana is. It's funny. It's like a giant punchline at this point. And I think Scheana should go into it. I think Scheana should continue to double down.
I feel like Scheana gets a lot of attention only in the hate form. And which all she wants is to be like beloved. And it's like, but at her core,
love Scheana. But it's me.
At her core, it's like these things are what like make people not like sit there and just like adore you publicly, like the outpouring support because you like do things like this. Like people don't back you.
That's the thing is like she's more of a joke to me than anything, but I adore her. I think she is just the stupidest,
I know, but you're one of few.
Yeah. But I'm also not going to go out there and like make tweets about Scheana. I like don't care that much. I think the hate is funny.
Yeah.
But like I think that this show and like this episode wouldn't be as entertaining without Scheana. Like I think we need to recognize she's a star.
She's carrying the show right now because I'm over Scandal stuff.
Yeah. Where now I'm like laughing at Scheana. But that's the other thing. Like Scandal enraged us all. We were all mad. It was a lot of drama. It took a lot of emotion. Scheana never really takes that much emotion from you. So it's also just like fun to watch stupid Scheana.
That's true. It's like eye rolling and being like, shut up, Scheana.
Like she cries and you're like, that's kind of funny. That's why I also don't get why people are mad at Scheana. Like at this, why do you care? Like Sheena's delusional.
Well, I think they're moving. They're in like being enraged for like Tom to Scheana because like they see Scheana as a threat to Ariana. And so it's like protect Ariana at all costs.
Yeah, but the other thing to remember is Ariana and Scheana in current time are still friends.
I mean, Well, on Watch What Happens Live, Ariana was like, I did not know how much was being said behind my back. And so, like, I can't
Yes.
wait for that discussion at the reunion.
Yes, but also I do think they're going to stay friends, whether it's close or not. I don't think they'll ever have a friend breakup.
But I don't think they'll be best friends.
I don't think they are at this point. I think
Yeah.
they're just in different stages of their life, and that's what happens. But I think, right, Summer still calls her Auntie Ariana. Like, there's still going to be some sort of like friend bond that will never break.
Yeah.
And honestly, unless Ariana comes out and says, fuck Scheana, she's a terrible person, like, who the hell even cares, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
care.
That's true.
Anyway, so whatever. Lisa's basically like, you should be able to share with Ariana what's going on. And Sheena's like, all my friendships are just one sided, though. I'm just the support. I see you getting at it.
Okay, I think there's also a difference between asking for support from Ariana on the Scandival piece, and
Yeah.
if Scheana went to Ariana and said like I'm really struggling with my OCD, I think Ariana would be so supportive.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
mean,
this one topic Ariana's not willing to be supportive on, which is not crazy.
anything else, Ariana would be there. Sheena, again, delusional blinder. She's like, it's me or no one. It's hilarious.
She has this mentality of all or nothing, and I kind of have it too,
Yeah.
where it's like you're either supportive with me on everything, or that means you're not supportive, and it's like that actually is not how life is. It's easier to judge that when it's not my life, but I operate very similarly, so it is hard. But
to Sheena, you're like all or nothing, baby.
yeah,
Whatever. So I also think Sheena's not in a good place mentally right now. So
No.
I think she's like losing her fucking mind.
and I don't think she knows how to actually be honest on camera.
She doesn't.
She
It's
really
Scheana.
struggles with showing
It's
her
Scheana,
life,
baby.
which she's done for 11 years.
It's Scheana, baby. So Sheena's gonna see all these girls at astrology night.
I can't wait.
And Lisa's like, great, figure it out. So then we go to Be Bright Coffee with Ariana and Lala. Ariana pays because she's rolling in that dough. But we see Ariana's pics from her shoot. It looks great. She hit some TV with a golf club in one of the photos, and she said it was very cathartic because she doesn't really get angry. Then we see a montage of her getting angry. Which it was only 3 times.
3 times in like 7 years. I was like,
it was
wow.
Only 3 times.
That's better than me.
And if I remember, they were all warranted.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I would have fought Kristen Doty if I was Ariana.
One of them was literally Scandival.
Yeah, that's for you to die.
I don't give a fuck. It does come off that like production really wants to start villainizing Ariana and like Sandoval to have this redemption arc, and I'm not enjoying
I'm not here for it.
No.
That's the thing though. I won't even let them give like Scheana any kind of like villain arc. Like there is one villain and let's stick to it.
Yeah, like I'm not being manipulated right now.
I think like the biggest villain is Sandoval, and then you can go into like Schwartz and honestly Joe for all I care. And I think you can make a fight that like Lala and Scheana are not girls, but I don't think they're villains. I think they're just like not.
I just don't think they're aligning on
girls.
what they want in their friendships.
I think they're fucking confused, you know? So Ariana and Lala go on a walk, and then Ariana's like, yo, what happened with Scheana in Tahoe? Because she was always crying. And Lala's like, oh my God, Scheana was a fucking mess. And she explains that Sheena's struggling with, I'm paraphrasing again, but just go with me. Sheena's struggling with being somewhere with Sandoval and having fun with him on a surface level. And Ariana's like, I'm not asking her to fight with Sandoval. And Lala's like, yeah, but then like she does those things and this internet photo comes out. She gets all this backlash and like you don't defend her. And Ariana's like, I'm not gonna do that in the public eye. And Lala's like, okay, but then you see Sheena's getting the backlash for just trying to figure out what she wants.
Yeah.
So, Lala tells Ariana how upset Scheana was for Ariana, even got a restraining order for her, and now Scheana needs closure and she needs her feelings to be validated. And Ariana's like, I do validate her feelings, but like I have these boundaries and I do not want him to have access to my life. Which is fair. That is a fine boundary.
Yeah, Lala kind of seemed like annoyed that Ariana would ever have boundaries. And Ariana does a really good job of always stating her boundaries that she will remove herself. She's not telling other people what to do.
That's the thing. Weirdly enough, I dislike Lala more than I like Scheana this episode.
Me too.
Mostly because Scheana, has always just not gotten it. And I think she's even more of an emotional mess. So like she's never going to get what Ariana wants at this point because
Mm-hmm.
Scheana's very like that. But Lala, I feel like, has a good head on her shoulders, and she still doesn't seem to understand where Ariana's coming from. And where Scheana gets sad, Lala gets like mad at Ariana, which I don't get.
Yes. And what's crazy is Lala has had, I don't think they're the same situation, but a similar situation where she did not want people to be involved with her ex. And Lala was a lot more ruthless. Like, Lala didn't say,
Yeah.
I will just remove myself. Lala was like, you will not do things.
Yeah. And like also Lala said, do not even go near him and I will cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ariana's not saying don't hang out with him. She's
Nope.
saying just I don't want him to have access to my life. So don't be his friend. It's a
And
difference.
it's not, I don't think it's like a sweeping line. If you spend 20 minutes with him, she's going to cut you out. I think she's going to slowly assess what type of relationship you have with
Yeah.
him, and she will act accordingly in like what she shares
Agreed.
with you. Like,
Agreed.
that's not that wild. And I think it needs to be clarified and discussed. And that's where the Scheana like piece, like Scheana will never ask what Ariana like actually wants or
Wants.
needs or
Yeah,
whatever and
yeah.
like clarify it. But Lala, this is pretty well stated. Like this
It's very
conversation,
clear.
yeah. And like Lala is acting like Ariana like is the devil for ever wanting this.
Do you think Lala is getting confused thinking Ariana wants what she wanted in this situation?
No. I think Lala is annoyed that I think Lala's taking it as if there's restrictions on them. And that's because I think Lala thinks a boundary is a restriction on another person. And so yeah, kind of
Oh,
what you're saying. Like Lala thinks of it differently. And
I
boundaries
guess.
are not something you put on other people. Like I used to think they were. I used to think it's like, oh, how you treat me. But no, it's how I
Yeah.
interact with you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get why Lala can't seem to like get it because then Lala says,
I think Lala's bitter because like her thing didn't end like this, or like she didn't get treated like
yeah.
this.
So Ariana says like she can remove herself from situations where she's uncomfortable, like when she's
Mm-hmm.
around him. Like she's allowed to not be in that situation. And Lala goes, that's what Sheena's nervous about. And I was like, what are you talking about? But then Ariana goes, okay, I'm sorry. And Lala goes, you can't do that. You can't shut down. And Ariana's like, I'm not shutting down. It's me doing things that work for me,
Yeah.
and like, I'm not the one to come to if you want to give Sandoval sympathy, which is also where Sheena's all or nothing because she wants
Mm-hmm.
Ariana to give her
I was so
everything.
happy Ariana said that piece. Like I can't validate her feelings when it comes to Sandoval. Like I can't do that. Like I don't want to do that. That doesn't work for me. And
Yeah,
Ariana said like Scheana needs to choose herself and do what works for her, but I need to be able to do the same. Like I need to choose what works for me
yeah,
best. And like that's okay. You're not a villain. Like Sheena's not a villain if she wants to be friends with Sandoval. Like that's okay. But like not everything can be like happiness and work, you know? Like
yeah,
it there are some consequences even if you don't mean to like hurt Ariana. Like there are some consequences if you're going to be friends with him, and like you just got to decide what works best for you.
yeah. So Lala says, like, Sheena lost one of her best friends, though. And Ariana's like, I did too. Actually, two of
Mhm.
them. And Ariana says she's trying to be compassionate, but she knows Sheena can easily be walked on. So she thinks Sandoval, she's actually not mad at Sheena. She's mad because she thinks Sandoval's manipulating Sheena to
Yeah.
get back in their good graces to like be, so like if he manipulates Sheena, he can manipulate Lala and then Allie and then James, and he'll become part of the friend group and she'll
Yes.
be iced out.
Yep.
So Lala shares that Sheena's nervous to lose Ariana as a friend through her healing Scandival for herself. And Ariana says, as you said, she wants Sheena to be happy and do what works for her, but Ariana's going to do the same.
Yeah, the way it's phrased, like Ariana is so calm. She's not
So
like,
clear.
yeah, and it's not like guilting anybody into like picking her side or anything. She's just saying like, if you are really close with him, that will not work with me because I do not want to have people who are very close to him in my life. Like I think about it like with Billy Lee. Like Billy was close with both of them, and like she is closest with Tom, and so like Ariana chooses not to engage with her. Like
Fair, yeah.
it happens. And like Billy is not like sitting there yelling at Ariana for not being like super close with her because Billy probably gets it. Like if I'm really close with him, you don't want to
Yeah,
be close with him.
it's just like Lala specifically, but Lala and Sheena don't get that, like, if they go out with Sandoval or to his home and hang out with him or whatever, Ariana's not going to want you in their lives. Like they can say hello to him and go on this stupid trip,
Yep.
but keep in touch with Ariana and like just deal with him because we're filming a show, right?
Yeah.
They're all coworkers too. So I think
Mhm.
Ariana recognizes that, but she's like, the minute you go out of your way to want to hang out with him,
And like have
I'm
one-on-one
out.
dinners. Like that's what they don't get is like, yes, we all film together, we're coworkers, so this like Tahoe trip. She's not cutting you out of her life
No.
because you went on this filmed Tahoe trip with him. It's if you go and do all these one-on-one scenes together, and then even when we're not filming, like you're with
You
him,
hang out with him.
hanging out with him, one-on-one especially. I think it's really that one-on-one relationship that is key.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now we go out to dinner with Christina Kelly.
I literally
There's
was like,
other people there, but I don't care. I don't care about them for a second.
I was so excited, and she had an espresso martini, and I was like, "We're back, baby. We're
I
back.
missed her so much.
I need
So yeah,
more."
Katie, Lala, and Scheana are also there, but they're obviously B-list characters
No,
compared to the great Christina
they
Kelly.
were talking, and all I was doing was staring at Christina.
Literally. So Scheana shares that, and I got concerned. Summer Moon broke her arm.
I was like, "Whoa."
I was like, I need more. So obviously they got a pink cast because that's what's gonna match with her wardrobe.
I can't. Let the kids
That's
pick her
hilarious.
cast.
That's so funny. Also though, Summer Moon in that picture that she posted with her pink cast looks so fucking happy. Summer Moon has never been happier than when she broke her arm.
Oh my God.
But this is very bad for Sheena's OCD because like she's already hesitant to leave Summer because something might happen. But Scheana was there when Summer broke her arm, so she's like, if this happens when I'm around,
and
like what's gonna happen?
You can kind of tell like Sheena's like really struggling with this because she was like, I was there 2 seconds after it happened, as if like she was a failure of a parent because this happened on her watch. And that really broke my heart because things happen, like kids break their arms. Like you cannot control everything. And if you did try to control everything, like you're inhibiting like her growth and stuff and her like learning how to navigate the world without you. And like you can't prevent everything. And so that really scares me that Scheana is probably then thinking like she didn't do something or she didn't protect her enough. And then it's like, well, if I can't protect her, like why should I put her in the care of somebody else? And I don't want her to backslide over this.
I need Scheana to stop focusing on Sandoval and start focusing on her OCD because I'm in on learning more about Scheana and her struggles and her thoughts and what she's doing to get better.
I want her to feel great.
That's what
I
I'm
want her
about.
to navigate the world. And this is where I do feel for Scheana. So then it's really hard when I'm not like on her side, quote unquote. Because I hate to see her dealing with this, but I really enjoy this as her storyline in a sense.
I do too. I want this to be her main.
I know.
Like, oh, okay. Anyway, so Christina Kelly is just like, hey, bitches, where's the drama? Let's hear it.
Which, like, such a funny segue and way to hit the beats. Let's get after it. I don't have time to waste.
A producer was like, finally, a queen is back. Can you? And she's like, no, don't even say it, Greg. I got this.
Yeah, quicken this up.
Sheena's like, so we went to Tahoe with Sandoval and they share about the spiritual meditation. And Scheana said this was the first time she saw genuine tears come out of that man. And Christina's like, but Scheana, is he more upset about losing your friendship than he is about what happened with his relationship with Ariana? And Sheena's like, yeah, because he was unhappy with Ariana for so long. I was like, damn, Scheana.
Oh my God.
Because then Christina Kelly is like, why would Ariana stay? And Sheena's like, I don't think you know until you're in it. Like, look at Jackson Brittany. They were very unhappy when he cheated on her, and now they're married with a baby. And Katie's like, I still hear Jackson's cheating on her.
I was like, what the fuck is going on with all this Jackson Brittany talk? And then in the after show, I did not watch the after show because it was all the Valley people. And I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. Yeah. I was like, listen, I get it if like Jackson Brittany are on it, you know, like whatever. They're trying to segue. But the randos we have never met were on it. And I was like, I'm done here.
Absolutely not.
It was like 5 seconds of actual Vanderpump Rules people and like all these Vanderpump Valley people. And I was like, no, I'm not subscribing to this.
Absolutely not. I don't support.
People think that this also like corroborates that Jackson Brittany, their like separation is such BS because they were talking about it last summer.
I mean,
I don't buy any of it.
Whatever. Okay, so Scheana is going through, she's going through the grieving process. with Scandival, whereas Ariana has already gone through it, and now Ariana's making millions of dollars and living her best life, and Scheana's just not there yet. And Katie gets mad. And I get Katie. I fucking felt Katie at this point. Katie's like, why is he the guy that you miss and you want back in your life?
Yeah.
And Sheena's like, I miss the guy I knew and I was friends with. Like, never forget 10-ish years ago when Sandoval was the only one in New York when they were doing press for season 1 that was like nice to her, which we've heard that story before. And Katie's like, oh my God, Scheana, that was forever ago. Like, you need to fucking move on, basically. And Scheana goes, I can't. And Katie goes, let's try.
I died. I was like, all right, Katie, like, it is a lot easier, I think, for Katie to move on from him.
Well, she fucking hated him from the beginning.
So I get that Scheana is struggling. I thought Katie being so harsh was sad for Scheana in her real life, but so funny.
So funny. Listen, Katie's over the bullshit. But like, I felt for Katie. Mm-hmm. I understand where she's coming from. I feel bad because Scheana just started taking singers and was like, oh.
I mean,
but Katie's ready to go fight.
You are holding on to something so tight from 12 years ago, but he just blew up your guys' whole friend group and your best friend's life, and you are holding
and diminished your friendship.
Yep.
Let's make it about you. He diminished your friendship. He
believes that you like punched Raquel.
Yeah, he supported the restraining order. Mm-hmm. He talked
lied
so
to you
badly about you.
Yep.
He called you a Shania Twain wannabe. Get with it.
That was, I think, weirdly a compliment. But like, you were holding this moment from 12 years ago in such high regard, but you're breezing past this really shitty 7 months.
I know. I get it. Like, Scheana and Sandoval have known each other for 15 years? So 15 years of him being great and nice and whatever and awesome. But then he does really shitty things. I get that there's a confusion as like, he didn't do those shitty things to me, but he was shitty a little bit to me.
He did do shitty things to her, though. That's what I get help. Like, I get
Lala
thing, being
the
like,
whole thing.
Like, I put Lala into that bucket of like, he did shitty things to her friends, but like, he actually did shitty things to Scheana.
Yes, but he was better friends with Scheana, so Sheena's also like held him in a higher regard. Yeah, yes, ideally, but Scheana also
just wants people. We know
Scheana does not hold grudges.
She wants to be wanted.
We have seen her from season 1. She doesn't hold grudges in good and bad, right? Stassi bullied her mercilessly, and she was the one that went up to Stassi and said, I will be your friend.
Oh my God.
Right? She doesn't hold grudges. Even in now, Sandoval fucking screws her, and she is still like, I love him so much. Open for business,
ready to be besties.
She is that person. I think she's just wired different.
She is. Oh, she is. You guys,
Sheena's not a real person. You cannot hold her up to people's standards.
Well,
she's a TV star.
True. And the thing is like, Katie and Scheana are polar opposites. Katie is like, you blink at me wrong and we're done.
You breathe incorrectly. And Katie and Scheana, you cannot convince me they have ever liked each other.
No, this proves to me that they never will actually be friends. I think they are just getting better at being like cordial and in the same friend group.
They're too different. And that's fine.
I think Katie has really accepted that they are not actually friends, but if Scheana needs to believe they're friends, like Katie won't ever outwardly say we're not friends.
That's where you got to be with Scheana, even as a viewer. You got to just be like, if Scheana needs to believe I'm a fan, fine, but I'm not, and just leave it.
I'm not going to outwardly tell you we're not friends because that will crush you.
No, never. So Lala says that asking Scheana to forget everything is unfair, and Katie's like, why? And Lala goes, because it's not you, Katie. And Katie says, I just don't have the sympathy, and I want this conversation to be over.
I died. She's like, I'm ready to yeet myself off this building.
Katie is so badass. And then she says she wishes Scheana would wake the fuck up because Sandoval didn't really care about his friendship with her. So cut ties, move on, and be a good friend to Ariana. And then everyone's like, okay, let's talk about something. Because now Katie's visibly pissed. And everyone else is like, okay, let's talk about like something fun. And then Scheana, in an attempt to be fun,
this is the funniest thing.
She's like, okay, for fun, I slept with that bartender over there. And everyone's like, recently? And she goes,
I was like,
no, in
obviously
2006.
not recently.
Christina Kelly's like, recently? Like, oh my God. And then she goes, no, in like 2006.
Stop. Scheana, how do you remember this man's face is my
Good
question.
for Scheana. No, good for Scheana. Have it written down. Know everyone. But then, I don't think Scheana...
that was like...
Scheana didn't hook up with that many people. She was with Shay.
That was 17 years ago. 2006 was 17 years ago. We have seen...
I think Scheana has slept with 10 people only.
Like 4 or 5 people on the show alone that she has slept with.
I think she has only slept with max 7 people.
No.
She was married for a while and dating Shay. Then we saw her with Rob. Scheana's also not going to cheat.
Shay?
Then we saw
I know
her...
Rob.
Adam.
Max. She did sleep with Max.
Maybe and then
Brett.
Maybe Brett and then Brock.
That's 6 alone.
She was dating, and then she dated someone before Shay. But that's when she was like in high school. So where else is she sleeping with these people, Meredith?
Back in 2006, we've got an 8th culprit.
8. She has not slept with more than 10 people. Prove me wrong. Someone go find out Scheana's sleeping history.
It is so Scheana coded that she would remember every person's face.
It's Scheana. I don't know why we're shocked.
Listen, there are some people where like if they showed back up my life, I would not really remember them. If I don't follow them on social media and don't see her face often, I could forget it. But you could tell me every conversation we had and I would remember them.
I'm telling you, I slept with you. I know your face. I'll
there's
be like,
there's some I'm really trying hard to forget though.
Yeah, but I'll know. Also, I bet this bartender worked at this same place when Scheana slept with him.
Oh my God.
So I bet she's like, I'm going to this place, and then she's like, fuck, he's still here.
It better have been more than once, because if she remembers him and it was just a one and done.
If you go to the place of work of someone you slept with, you're gonna look out for them. I don't think it's weird. I would know.
There's no way this guy worked here in 2006.
All the SIR people. Peter still has been working at SIR since 2006.
True.
Please. True. So Scheana shares this, and Katie goes, I'm gonna jump off the roof if this conversation continues. And everyone's like,
we moved on.
What? We're talking about the bartender Scheana slept with. And Katie goes, with all due respect, Scheana should get over it. And I was like, the bartender?
I was like,
I think she is. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's Sandoval.
I knew Katie was still stuck on the conversation, but I'm like, you just said you wanted this over. And they moved it on.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I know you got shit to say to Scheana, but Sheena's really trying to move on, you know?
Scheana,
so now
this is the thing. She never wants to be yelled at or the target of anything. She will change the conversation.
She'll move on, and she's still getting yelled at. She's like, I went fine.
She's like, I just shared I slept with that man 17 years ago.
See, we should think about how Scheana feels. So anyway, Katie tells mostly Scheana, but also at this point, everyone that will listen, that Sandoval has never given Katie a sincere apology. And Scheana goes, I think you deserve that. And then Katie goes, he has been awful to me and interfered with my marriage. And I don't understand why anyone is having trouble getting rid of this trash bag of a person. And I was like, truly same. But I have never had a friendship with this man, and neither really have you.
Yeah.
Like, these other people were in his manipulation, you know? They were there.
That's the thing. Scheana has positive memories. Katie, you have zero.
Scheana got manipulated. She had Stockholm syndrome. She's trying to get out of it.
No, I believe they had a real friendship. I think it was like a selfish friendship, and like Scheana just wants anybody to be her. Scheana will accept any type of friendship, I think.
Scheana, though, she's the type to fall in love with her captor, okay? That she can't get over it. Just give her a sec. Give her a second.
Honestly, if you walked up to Scheana and gave her like a $5 gift card, she'd be like, we're best friends.
She'd
like,
remember your face.
Act of love. Yeah, she'll remember my face for 17 years.
Yeah, just people.
Scheana just wants people to like her.
She's very simple, okay? Just let her live in her Duluth state of mind. She's happier there.
Katie yelling at Scheana is like Scheana like trapped in the lion's like cage at a zoo.
Like, fuck.
And Sheena's like, I'll be your friend. Like, I'll live with you. It's fine. Like, we can be fun. Just don't eat me.
She wants Katie to steal her. She just give her something to believe in, you know? Like Sheena's number one to fall into a cult. You know, it's who Scheana is. It's just, but not with Lala beside her. Now Lala's being her guardian.
Lala's like her shield.
Yeah, Lala's not happy. So whatever. Then we go to Tom Tom. There's a big pump sign. Lisa moved a lot of the
This was weird.
workers and this pump sign over from Pump to Tom Tom. Sandoval's also here, and they go to chat for a little bit. Scheana, or not Scheana, Scheana's on my brain. I'm thinking about how she
You're
feels
thinking about
right
her
now.
way too much. You got to put her off to the side for a minute.
I just can't. She's number one. So Lisa tells Sandoval that they're bringing the chef over from Pump to Tom Tom.
Mhm.
And Sandoval's like, weird that Schwartz and I didn't know. And Lisa's like, I would never consult a 2.5% partner.
I always forget. I always bump them up thinking they each have 5%. But
I know, and I always let you, even though I know collectively it's 5%.
But even if they had 5%, sir, the way that man thinks he's the most important person, he's the opposite to Scheana too. He thinks he's so important, and Sheena's like, I'm just here.
Scheana knows she's not important, which is so a sad way to live your life. But
Scheana would be like, thank you for just even telling me. Like, that means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Recognizing that I'm not important. Thank you for knowing I'm alive. Yeah. So Sandoval orders a Diet Coke because he also brought ice cream. So
I was like, why do we need ice cream?
What a weird thing. Like, so, okay, can I just say, this episode in particular, there were so many moments I was like, this is just a weird thing. And this was one of them.
Lala and like Ariana were walking down the street. I was like, why are we not sitting at a table drinking this?
It didn't look like a great neighborhood either. I was like, what a weird thing.
It didn't look like a place where you like go for a walk. Like, we live in cities.
They stopped in front of a dumpster of like a convenience store.
We live in cities that are like walkable cities. LA is not a city I want to like walk around with a coffee.
So this was weird. I'm going to just point out all the weird things from now on that happened.
Okay, good. Because I thought the same.
Here's weird things. So Lisa asked how Tahoe was. Sandoval's like, it was so good I didn't get ignored at the airport. Can you believe?
He's holding on to that like no other.
She just said, hey, we're over here. And he's like...
They blinked to me in Morse code.
Wow. So he said he's a lot happier than the last time he was with Lisa. That's probably because he wasn't actually depressed. I'm going to say it. He was depressed. He didn't have his friends.
He wasn't the center of attention in a not so negative way. Honestly, even if it's negative, I think he'll be happy.
So Sandoval said he's worried about Rachel and he misses her and he hasn't spoken to her lately and he wants a relationship with her. We're going to go through this. Lisa's like, hey, I talked to Rachel at great length and she's not very happy with you.
He's like,
and Sandoval's like, what are you talking about? But then in his interview, he's like, I know why. It's because Rachel didn't want to face what was happening to her. And so I told her that she's going to have to. And she got mad. I didn't agree with her.
The way she is mad because he didn't agree with her. Like, man, you can't be this delusional.
Both of them. So then, but he says to Lisa, he's like, but I love her. Why is she upset with me? I can't fathom.
At some point he says he has not talked to her in like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, what are you not getting?
You're getting ghosted.
Yeah.
Welcome. So I guess Rachel told Lisa she wasn't comfortable lying to everyone, but Sandoval told her, quote, life is lying.
I believe he said that.
This man's
the way that's phrased, I believe he said that.
Life is lying. Yeah. So Sandoval obviously gets up and throws his arms in the air. I did not say that.
It's the look, I didn't say that.
Oh my God, Lisa, I didn't say that.
His reactions give him away every time.
I've been worried sick about her. I want to give her a hug.
I'm like, why are you so tense? If this is somebody you love and you're really sad that they aren't talking to you, why are you so defensive and why are you so mad all of a sudden?
You can always tell when he's lying because he does that. Oh, I would never. He does that. Whereas if he's actually telling the truth, he's like, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And he's shocked to hear.
He has moments where he is really genuine and you can see, the vast difference.
You can pick it up. He's not that great of an actor. We know.
I do think he was genuine with Scheana in Tahoe. That seemed the most genuine I've ever seen him. And then this is all fake emotions. He's playing. I think he wants everybody to think he was abandoned by Raquel. And he was all in on this and she left him.
Whatever. Both of you, whatever. I don't give a shit.
It doesn't matter how it ended. You guys cheated nonetheless.
So Rachel blocked him. Lisa's like, hey, it's over. But then Lisa tells us, she's like, Rachel felt really manipulated by him and she doesn't love him anymore. So he should just get over it. So whatever. Then we go to Lala's office, where Lisa also is here. Lisa's busy today.
Yeah,
So
she's doing it all.
we meet Jessica, Lisa's brain, who's also on Lala's podcast when I've listened. I don't love Jessica on the podcast. She's not for me. I prefer Shenanigans.
I don't listen, I'm gonna be honest.
I think Shenanigans is better than the Lala's podcast. I do. I just think Sheena's naturally a little better at
Like
the
hosting.
podcast world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Lisa and Lala talk. Currently, give them Lala is rebranding.
I was confused by this.
I don't know if now it's called Give Them because she wants to drop Lala.
Yeah, and I was like, Give Them is like a weird name of a podcast.
I don't know, but
I'm looking
whatever.
it up.
It's going to be a more reserved brand to reflect Lala being more reserved because right now Lala's just trying to rebrand and get a sperm donor because she wants a baby very badly.
It's still called Give Them Lala here in 2024.
Well, great. So Ocean also really wants a sibling. Lisa's, of course, very old fashioned. She's like, you should wait till you meet someone. And Lala's like, I don't really want a baby daddy though. Like, I don't want to deal with that. And she says she wants to have lots of babies. Like, she wants to do this baby. She wants to adopt a baby. And then if she does meet someone, she'll have another baby with them. But she wants an absolute. She wants a baby that no one can ever take from her and she never has to share because she loves being a mom and that's what she wants. And honestly, it melted my heart. I really liked this.
I'm excited for her. I want her to have a family. Like, I think her saying, I want a sperm donor baby, I would adopt, I'll have another, like, that I love. Like, the story of she just wants a bunch of kids, she wants to have a family, she loves it. But the way she talked about this, it made me sad thinking, like, when Ocean grows up and sees this, like, how is she gonna feel about you basically saying, like, you want a new baby so then you get everything? Like, she's not
I don't
enough?
think
It just kind of made me sad that, like,
I see that, but also I don't think Ocean's gonna think. I think Ocean will know, like, on Christmas I leave my mom and then my mom doesn't have a kid to celebrate with. Christmas is different with kids versus like with your parents or your right? Like,
yeah,
Christmas is for parents to like have fun with kids.
yeah.
So I think Ocean would get that, and I also don't think Ocean is Scheana, where her feelings aren't going to be validated. Like, I think it's fine, and I don't think Lala.
Thanks
I think
for
Lala
thinking
will.
of Scheana. Thank you for.
You're welcome. I think Lala will have a conversation probably with Ocean.
Yeah, and like make her like always know that she is loved.
Yeah,
and
I think
it's not like this baby is replacing and like giving Scheana Lala everything she ever wanted. Like, she has a baby that she is like Ocean is everything she ever wanted, and she wants multiples.
Yeah, I think she loves Ocean so much. She wants Ocean all the time. So she's gonna like have a bunch of babies that she can have all the time.
It gave me that energy a little bit of like, you know how if like parents get divorced and then they have a second set of kids with like the new significant other and like the initial ones feel like left out of it.
I think it helps that Lala doesn't have another family. It's just a sibling.
Yeah, I think Ocean does spend most of her time with Lala though.
I do too. Randall's got 2 other kids, he's busy.
Dude, I don't think he sees them really either.
I think he's a mess. Anyway,
I just think it's best if they spend time with their moms.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so now we talk about Tahoe. Lala said it was very emotionally draining because Scheana is torn between Sandoval and Ariana.
Mm-hmm.
And Lala says, she talked to Ariana about the group photo and Ariana didn't stand up for Scheana. But afterward, Ariana went home and said, you know what, Lala's right. And she did publicly defend Scheana.
Yeah.
Which I think I said, but I didn't know. It looks like it was on a post. So
yeah, it looks like she left a comment on somebody else's post.
Oh, great. So Ariana did defend Scheana publicly. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
We go to Sir. The whole scene was weird. This was one of those weird scenes.
I was so confused.
When I tell you, I don't know why this was in the episode, and I think I hated it, but liked it, but didn't,
I was Allie the entire time. You could just see it on Allie's face. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I think I liked it to know that I hate this group. Like, I hate watching these people.
Yeah. This affirmed to me that I wasn't crazy and just anti-Joe.
I liked it for that. I hated having to be subjected to it.
I want none of this. And I feel like this is going to be a lot of the rest of the show. Like, we're just going to keep getting this.
I know. Okay, so we go to Sir. James is playing. Allie's
Mhm.
obviously there listening in a table in the corner. And then Schwartz and Joe roll up
They look
in
like twins.
pastel Easter colored hats. They look like twins. They're talking about farts.
I
So literally I said, why do they look and act alike?
I, you know that like when there's those Instagram or like TikToks, like things that are like
Dating
siblings
your
or dating.
siblings.
I was like, this is my worst nightmare to fuck a man and somebody say he looks like your brother.
I can't. This is why I only fuck white men. So, or black men. I don't fuck Hispanics. I'm just kidding. I'm not
I
racist.
I just I've always thought about it. I used to be really blonde as like whenever I was younger and like
Oh,
high
you wouldn't
school
date a
and
really
like
blonde guy?
I could not. It just reminded me of my brother.
You want to know something so funny? I haven't had a ton of boyfriends, but most of them have been blonde.
I
I think I naturally have this fear.
But it's like you
So,
kind of go against what you are a little bit. Like
yeah, I
I've
don't
always
want
looked at
you
it like
thinking
that.
we're related.
I don't want to be you to be
No.
any no thank you.
I also, yeah, it's just not going to happen. Anyway, so then unfortunately, I just have to say this, and I want to say, as Midwesterners, we do not claim Joe. She's from Wisconsin, and I hate that, and I want her
It's the
gone.
first thing I have ever hated about Wisconsin.
I, well, I hate many things about Wisconsin.
I love
This
Wisconsin.
is a top one though.
I
I
was
hate the
like,
Packers.
okay, I understand that. But I was like, wow, you are really making me test my love for
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
I debated never eating a cheese curd again because of this
I was like,
woman.
you're ruining, like, Tom Sandoval already ruined St. Louis for me. Like, why do you have to go and ruin Wisconsin for me?
We can't go to we can't go up boating in Wisconsin anymore. Like
I just feel like I can never drink a spotted cow again.
No, never.
I can never have a cheese curd again. I can never eat from Culver's.
No,
like,
I was just about to say Culver's is ruined because of this woman. Anyway, so
I need her off my screen.
Allie knows the other girls have problems with Joe, especially Katie, which let me tell you, it wouldn't take a lot to have a problem with Joe.
I agreed, but
So-
I need somebody to sit in that fucking interview chair and explain to me truly the nuances of what Joe has done. Because if Katie hates Joe, I'm in. But just give me the details. I want a little gossip section.
I want Katie to go on a 5-minute rant about everything wrong with Joe, so I know.
It can
I
be
just
on.
need to
It can
know.
be on a podcast. It can be on anything.
Let me tell you, I also, just from the, I don't know, 6 minutes she's had of airtime, I also hate her, but I want to know what she's like in real life and why
Yeah.
people hate her.
I want specifics because like I dislike her on my TV, but like I want to know why we hate her in real life too.
She's the definition of someone who gets a camera put in her face and she is like malfunctions.
So weird. Yes.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
The way she could not sit in this chair, so they sit down with.
Why are all the
Allie.
tall people over here?
Why don't you just say, "Hey, this is a really small chair. Can we switch spots?"
All the tall people.
She's like, "My limbs are going everywhere," and I'm like,
but what's her real voice too? It like
I.
Someone made a TikTok and said she is the definition of the millennials that Gen Zers make fun of. That this is it. This is it. This is
Or it's like, you know how I don't think ever watched Friends, but there was a episode
I
where
watched it. I just don't love it. Yeah,
where Chandler and Monica go for like cute coupley photos, and Chandler cannot smile the minute the camera comes up. He gets this weird like smile on his face, and it's like that. It's why can't you just act normal? Why can't you just sit there and talk with your friends? You do not need to like do a funny bit or anything.
Tall people, shut up.
I'm like, oh
shut
my
up.
God.
So James joins the group. Allie tells Schwartz and Joe she gets total friend vibes from them.
Again,
this is my fear.
I never want somebody to say that I've actively been sleeping with in the past.
And they both are like, yeah, there's no boning.
They're so weird about talking about them sleeping together on camera. They're acting like they never did and they're trying to keep it a secret, but it's like they can't keep it in at the same time.
We know. So Schwartz talks about how Tahoe was a success. And James is like, James shares he's kind of stoked to see Sandoval and have the band back together, you know, the boys.
Like, no, James.
And James, but James still says that Sandoval does, like what Sandoval says and does going forward will dictate where the friendship goes. So they talk about hippie. Schwartz is like, seemed like a totally changed dog. And then Allie interrupts and she goes, wait, is that Tom Sandoval over there? And Joe goes, yup, Sandy's here.
Oh
And
my
then goes,
God.
ee, like squeals. And I was like, oh, I hate her. Like, she gives me the ick.
It shocks me that they brought her in because it seems like the group is already welcoming Sandoval back in. So if we like I understand that scene with the three of them, like we probably needed an additional person to make that scene happen. Um, but if he's being welcomed into the group, why do we need Joe?
Do you think Schwartz just invites her? Do you think
No, because
like
later in this episode, she has a freaking interview. Like she
that's
is being
wild?
paid for this
That's
show.
wild. That's great. I never want her on an interview again.
I
Anyway, so
that crossed the line for me. That's where I knew she was going to be on the rest of the season, and I was like, "This is my worst nightmare."
I hate it. So Schwartz asks James if they can have a Rat Pack boys night. You know, dress
I
up
didn't
in
understand
suits
what
and
this
eat meat.
was.
Oh, the Rat Pack was like this group of old men that just like were famous and did classy boys shit. You know, the Rat Pack.
This is the group that is
It
the
was like
classy
I think it was
boys.
like Frank Sinatra and Friends. Like it was back in the day. So Sandoval, of course, comes over with what looks like a non-alcoholic beer, which we've talked about. We would never drink a non-alcoholic beer.
No,
Wild.
I thought he was legit drinking at this point, but you're right. He could have been drinking a non-alc.
So Sandoval shares that he talked to Lisa at Tom Tom and they ate ice cream. And for some reason that got lost on me. Sandoval's like, hey, James, put on these sunglasses. And Joe is pumped to see James in these sunglasses. It's like she's never seen a man wear sunglasses before.
This
And
was so odd to
honestly,
me.
they're ugly ass sunglasses.
They're so bad.
And Allie goes, oh, you look like Elton John. And
Yes.
then James goes, Elton John.
I was like that. You're right on the money. I thought that they were Sandoval's the whole time, and he was just
Were
like,
they
"Oh,
not?
this is funny." Well, I guess from the
Whose
start,
are
I guess
they?
maybe they are. The way then he was like, "Oh, keep them." I was like, "Did you buy
Yeah.
these for James?"
Sandoval goes, keep these sunglasses. And Allie goes to James, like whispers, like he got Rachel sunglasses last year. Like he's just whatever. And Allie's like, Sandoval's trying to buy James back.
He's
But
doing a bad job. These are ugly.
they make him look like Elton John.
These are not his style. I understand how, like, listen, Sandoval has like kooky wardrobe compared to me. Like I dress pretty conservatively. Like we all have different vibes, and that's fine. Like Sandoval, dress however you want, but that is not James's vibe. So like I kind of understand being like, oh ha ha ha, try these on, but then to be like, keep them. No.
If I was James, I'd be like, no.
If I was Allie, I'd be like,
Elton John.
Give those back right now.
Yeah. So Allie just hopes James doesn't fall for this whole thing because she knows in the end James will just be disappointed. Like, why did I waste all my time on this loser?
I think Sandoval acts very transactionally, and I don't think he really thinks through when he's giving you it in the moment. But it's like I don't think he's that manipulative to like be like, hey, I'm giving this to you, and in his mind he's thinking like, and then you will be my friend. But I think that's in a sense how he operates in the long run. It's like,
yeah,
I just did all these things for you. Yeah, like I've done all these things. Like, where's my loyalty back? Like, I'm being a good friend to you. Where's my, like, whatever? Like, I know people like that where their brain operates that if they do something for you, they kind of expect something in return. And again, they're not doing it outwardly malicious and like instigating those things so that they can return a favor, but they do expect you to pay up at some point.
Yeah. Just as a note for any producers who are maybe listening and then can go back and re-edit Vanderpump Rules for the rest of the season, if you could take out all of Joe's interviews and just give Allie more, because Allie's really the star of the interviews this season.
I enjoy her so much.
I would just watch her talk about everything happening on this show. She should have a podcast about this show. Honestly, it'd be better than this one. She'd be great.
I work hard on this. I work hard to talk for 2 hours.
That's true. So James says he always saw Sandoval as an older brother, and actually everything Sandoval has given to him, he has not lost because he keeps it dearly.
I'm like, how much has he given you?
And then we get a shot of Allie just fucking hating her life, and I go, me too, girl. You deserve a raise for being put in this situation.
This is not the group I want to hang out at Sir at.
I honestly, it'd be just better if Joe left. I'd feel a little better.
I agree.
Yeah, because at least then I know the crazy. Joe's like on a level I
And then we
can't.
would have gotten a normal moment with just like Schwartz and Allie, and then Schwartz, Allie, and James.
Yeah. Okay, so then just to wrap up the Joe storyline, we go to the brewery.
I was like, why do we have to debrief Joe with Joe?
They're again also wearing hats again. Like
That
they match hats.
her leather hat. I was like, what are we doing?
I I don't. And then they do a shot. And then
Schwartz loves a shot and a beer, and I don't know why, but I love that he loves it.
honestly, I'm in it. I'm in it. I would also do a shot
It's a
and a
very
beer.
Midwest thing.
Yeah, a shot and a beer. There are deals. That's the deal. You do a
Yes,
shot
but
and
like
beer.
I don't think
You
the
get tequila and a
coasts
Corona. Yeah,
do
I'm
it.
taking over. So Schwartz is very clear to us in his interview. Him and Joe have never had a formal relationship, but they've definitely hooked up. But he says Joe is not everyone's cup of tea, but he thinks she's a great cup of tea. Which I said,
I
he's never had good tea before. As a tea drinker, I could
I
tell
love
you.
in his interviews where he starts to go down like a road and he has to commit to it. And he's like, and she's a good cup of tea.
She's great. Yeah. Just stick with the metaphor.
Yeah.
So then Joe and Schwartz just sit and talk. Let me describe. This is how I saw it. Schwartz is a child who just uses big words he learned in the dictionary, and Joe's a crackhead. And these two are trying to communicate.
Oh my god. It was about like nothing. I'm like, why is this scene?
It was about aliens. It was about aliens and artificial intelligence but like also they couldn't finish a thought.
Well, it's like she clearly wants to be with him and he is like won't be direct with her, and so then he comes up with these excuses of like, oh, but first he was like, you need to tell me you're not an alien, and then he was like, I want to be with an alien, and I was like, you're basically greenlighting her to say I'm an alien, be with me.
I think, you want to hear my thoughts?
But then also, why are we talking about this?
I think he likes Joe, but I think he still wants Katie a little bit, and she hates Joe.
Joe will be the nail in the coffin.
He's waiting for, honestly, Vanderpump Rules to end. He never has to really see Katie again except for the dogs, and he can finally be with Joe.
He could deal with Katie's hate if it's just to see the dogs.
Yeah, but I think he doesn't want her saying hatred about him and Joe publicly on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my thought.
Think he thinks of Joe as like a backup plan, though. Like it's not like he's like so obsessed with her and really wants to be with her and is like pining for her. Yeah, he's like, this could be a great avenue. Not on the show.
You know how I described Carl and Lindsay seemed like siblings who made a pact?
Yes.
That's this too, but worse somehow. Worse, because it's a child and a crackhead.
I'm about to have full body hives.
A man-child and a literal crackhead. So Schwartz says he doesn't remember the last time they hooked up. And then they give Joe this stupid interview. And she says they hooked up a month ago. And she definitely thinks they caught feelings and they're still there. And then Schwartz in his interview says they're just platonic and friends. So, ew.
I hated. Wait, this was not worth the information.
Can we leave the brewery? Like, there's nothing else here.
Hey, Mom, I hate it here. Come pick me up. Like, please. Yeah, we're done. Also, this brewery was from last season. Did you notice that?
Yes.
That's the only thing that brought me joy. Is like,
yes, I remember.
Allie and Scheana, I think, hung out here.
Yeah, Allie was there. Basically, the only other thing is like Joe really is like, oh, Schwartz, you just need well, she says it in her weird voice and like whatever, but basically it's like you have 2 years and then we can commit. You'll be 43. And he's like, maybe when I'm 47 we can date. So I don't.
Like, he doesn't want her.
I don't know. Okay, can we go now?
Yeah, please.
Anywhere else?
Please.
Okay. So at James and Allie's house, Allie's making like a really sad charcuterie board.
That was so bad.
I felt bad because I love her, but girl, she goes, I'm going to TikTok a charcuterie board. And I go, you are going to see some crazy things that I don't think you have in your house.
The fact that she is doing it on a plate already starts off bad, girly pop.
It was hilarious. It was a good time. So, and then the boys are going to do a Rat Pack night and the girls are doing astrology night. So boys night, girls night.
Be okay with Rat Pack night because at first I'm like, James, why are you sitting down with Sandoval at a dinner? But I'm okay if it's because we need to split up the group,
We're filming,
boys
yeah.
and girls, but like don't normally do this.
So at astrology night, Katie and Ariana are here. They're ready to get their birth charts read.
I'm ready too. I'm ready.
And then Scheana comes in with 2 big boxes. They're going to Taylor Swift. Scheana was able to get Allie tickets, and Allie is so thankful to Scheana because Allie, a big Swiftie, which is a big green flag for us because we're Swifties, she even wanted to be just like Taylor Swift. So she became a singer, and we get a video. It was cute, but it was hilarious.
This made me love Allie even more because she had to provide this.
Oh, she was like, yeah, take this video.
Also, that said 2012, and in my brain, I was like, Vanderpump Rules started in 2013.
She was good. She was great.
She was in high school, you know, jamming with some Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
When this crew was like being their little server
James.
selves.
James was like our age too.
True.
So, Allie says she couldn't be Taylor, so she had to be an astrologer.
But I love how she said there can only be one Taylor Swift, so I became an astrologer.
Hilarious.
And I was like, love
that was awesome. That was awesome. And then Lalo's also here. So we go to boys' night, and it's just Schwartz and James for a little bit. Schwartz, I think, is going to order a coconut.
Oh, he does. It's sitting at the table the rest of the night. It's like a coconut with like a hole for a straw, and he just drinks the raw coconut milk. I was like, what fucking restaurant are we at?
What steak? They're at like a nice steak.
It's like a Brazilian steakhouse where I guess it's just unlimited food. And then when you're ready, like you just flip your cart over and they stop bringing you food.
Yes.
This is my dream. We are going here when we go to LA.
We're going here. And we're going to see if we could go further than Schwartz. Just kidding.
Well,
we don't know exactly.
Of course we can.
But
come on. We love food.
So, Sandoval's here, and then Brock also shows up. And honestly, I thought Brock looked great.
I forgot about Brock. I thought it was just the 3 of them.
No, Brock was. How dare? Think of how Scheana would feel if you forgot Brock.
That's the thing is Scheana will take offense to this because Brock is an extension of her. So how did I not think about Brock?
You're the worst.
Stupid Meredith.
So, yeah, James is like, hey, the girls are having astrology night. And then we cut to astrology night. And Allie's like, we can either do individual readings or I could do you all together. And these girls are like, just fucking do it all together, Allie.
Yeah.
And so I would just, from the beginning, none of this registers with me when she's like, your moon's in the house of Jupiter and it's in the 12th zone.
I did some Googling and there's 12 zones and then where the like planets were based on like when the minute you were born is like they're in like these different sectors and then it like means they all mean different things, both the sectors and the planets. And so it's like, this is not true, but like your Jupiter like moon thingy is like in house 2,
Jupiter moon
which means that like house 2 is all about your like finances. And so the Jupiter moon being there means like you're going to have horrible finances. And then there's also years surrounding it. So it's like from 2003 to 2007, you're going to be in a horrible financial situation. That's not it, but that's
wild.
How you like read it.
So just from the beginning, I just took high level notes because I don't know.
I don't know what it means. I don't know the outcomes, but I know like there's moons and houses.
Yeah. So Ariana's supposedly really lucky. Great. Luck's about to happen. Scheana's was kind of accurate because Allie tells her she has a need for partnership, which I started laughing at. And she fills up other people's cups before her own. And I was like, honestly, she does. She's sitting here being like, she's not thinking about what's best for her. She's like, what about Ariana and Sandoval and my friendship? And
I want her to do what's best for her and just own it. Like, I would not be mad at her if she wasn't so flip-floppy.
Yeah. So then Allie goes, Lala, your chart made me gasp. And Lala goes, it's because I'm such a cunt, right? And I die. I was like, I
love this energy.
And then Katie has very male energy. And Katie's like, I've heard that. I think it's because I was a man in my previous life. And so if you're wondering why Katie has big dick energy, it's because she used to have a big dick.
I feel this. Like, I feel like they always say like, well, they means TikTok. TikTok always says like, you need to lead with your feminine energy when you're dating. And I'm like, fuck that.
What's that?
I don't know how to do that.
I man spread on first date. But like,
I don't know how to not be the leader.
I'm just me. I'm me. Whatever.
I'm like Katie. I was a man in a previous life, and I'm fine with it.
I'm a man now, probably. What is this? I never understand the feminine versus masculine energy.
No, I
I'm
don't.
me,
I'm just
baby.
me.
I'm
I
me.
talk too
I can't.
much. I love to drink. I love sports, but I like to put on makeup and wear girly
I
clothes.
like
Like,
reality TV.
I
Yeah,
like all of it. Leave me
same.
alone.
Let me live. Read my birth chart
Just
if
shut up
you
and
are
listen
that
to me. That's all I
interested.
need from
Yeah.
anybody.
So we find out in March of 2024, Ariana is going to be in a better place, which is now, which,
I was like,
yay,
she's
great.
crushing it.
Wow, Allie. So um, Scheana then says it seems like Ariana has processed Scandival. And Ariana's like, well, I'm dealing with lawyers and the internet thinks I've made millions of dollars, which isn't true. And I'm still living in this stupid house. She's like, and then she shares with us that she was in a bad place financially when Scandival broke, right? She just bought this house. She was like, I don't know. I don't remember spending it
It
on all this
amazes
other
me. I
shit.
mentioned this on the pre-show. It amazes me that reality TV people are like kind of broke.
Yeah, you buy a $4 million house.
Well, yeah, but like
You
you're just
probably
paying the
shouldn't.
mortgage.
You
Like
probably shouldn't. Yeah.
that's
So
it. That's what it is. Is like you put all your money into this down payment when you like should have like an emergency fund. And it just amazes me that Scheana and Ariana in back-to-back episodes have basically been like, I
I
have
was
been
broke.
broke and I'm on a reality TV show.
Yeah, I think it's also like this is side, but on TikTok there's this girl that goes through the summer house cast outfits they wear.
Mm.
And even Paige's pajamas cost the set is like $400. And I'm like, that's where you're all going wrong. My pajamas are from Target, and even if I'm rich, they will continue to be from
And they
Target.
never wear the same set again.
Yes, yes. Like Amanda, you know how when Amanda wears like sweatpants and a
Mhm.
t-shirt, and I'm like, that probably costs, I don't know, $20 at Target. No, her sweatpants are like $400. And then
Yeah.
that
Tank top is like
t-shirt,
$75.
like just
Chill
go
out.
to Amazon and do fast fashion and just
I
be cheap.
know.
No, I'm just kidding. But that's why they don't have money. They're buying. I think she did it for Vanderpump Rules too, where it's like Ariana's dress in this interview cost
Yeah.
$500, and it's like
Like the upkeep of their life to like maintain
I
this.
wouldn't do that. Yeah, so I just think it's that.
I mean, I would, but then like sell your clothes after the fact. People like the Kardashians sell things for the like price they pretty much bought them.
Your pajamas don't have to be
Okay, pajamas, that's the really crazy one. But you can buy a nice dress for your stupid little interview thing and then sell it on Poshmark.
or that's your nice dress you wear for your interview and you have it in case of something else. Fine, whatever. But like your t-shirt doesn't need to be more than
Go to Old
$10.
Navy. They have great t-shirts.
Yeah, you're fine. So, Ariana is trying to move forward in a financially responsible way. Great. We cut to boys' night. They're eating spicy meats. It's different vibes.
No, there was a sauce.
Oh, I thought the meat was just. Who cares?
James was like, eat it with this sauce. Dude, Schwartz was dying. I love
He
Schwartz
turned his
dying
card
from
over.
spicy food.
Same. He's from Minnesota. Of course he's gonna die from spicy food. So Sandoval shares, you saw Lisa yesterday. Lisa talked to Rachel. Sandoval doesn't like to talk about Rachel in front of James, and James is like, well, you did worse. So
that's the most considerate thing he said, but to be honest, it's not because Sandoval doesn't want to talk about it. It's because it's like bad news Sandoval information.
Well, James is like, at this point, my guy, just hit your beats.
Yeah,
like,
but no, Sandoval's only saying that like to deflect because it's things that she's mad at him, so he can't keep up this story that like she loves me.
No. So Sandoval, of course, shares that Rachel's upset with him, but he has no idea why. And he's been waiting for her and he can't do that anymore. And Schwartz is like, you should date. Sandoval's like, it's been 15 years, but he wants that female energy in his life.
The fact that you can say you haven't been single for 15 years is because you always start relationships before you end them, sir.
Yeah, hilarious.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 15 years you've been doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, of course, he's a big cheater. So he also is throwing a pool party tomorrow, which I was like, does Ariana know?
I was like, did you get this approved by Ariana?
And then Schwartz is the first to bow out of the meat challenge, so he has to pay.
I love that.
Even Brock was like, you pussy. You're paying. Brock's like, we're broke at my house, so
I will keep eating. A, because I don't have food, and B, because I can't afford this.
I'm going to bring some back to Summer. She's going to eat the spicy meats and like it. I'm just kidding. So then we go back to girls' night. I'm pumped for this. So Lala's like, the boys are all going to bond at their Rat Pack night, right? And Ariana says she doesn't understand why James would want a friendship with Sandoval. And like Allie says, yeah, James feels like guilty because he feels like he's betraying you. And Ariana's like, and himself. And Allie agrees. Allie's like, yeah, Allie doesn't want James friends with Sandoval either. But
Yeah.
she's not in it enough to share.
I'm glad Ariana's pointing out though that like again, James has reason to be mad at Sandoval for himself. It should not be put on Ariana.
Agreed. Yeah. So Lala says time passes and healing starts, and Ariana will always see things differently. And Ariana's like, yeah, I see who Sandoval really is, and I think this will come to a head for James. And Allie's like, me too. Like Allie's like, yeah. And so Lala's like, okay, but what if James decides to be friends with Sandoval? And Ariana's like, I don't fuck with that then. Period.
Yeah.
And Lala turns to Scheana and she goes, there you go. If you choose to forgive Sandoval, that puts your friendship at risk. And Ariana goes, no, I didn't say anything about forgiveness.
Yes. That's the thing is when Lala talked to Ariana and then when Lala is talking here tonight, she's using different language. Like,
yeah,
forgiveness and friendship are two vastly different things.
Yeah. And Ariana is basically like, I'm saying don't go out with him on a random Wednesday night and get dinner with him. And Scheana in her interview was like, that's what I was afraid of. And I'm like, you weren't going to go get dinner with him, though. You don't want that.
Yes. What? I was like, how are you confused? Like, there needs to be like more clarifying conversations because I just don't think like the way Ariana's speaking generically here tonight. And I think that is offering confusion. But Scheana, you have never said that like you really want to be best friends with him yet. But like, if you do want to be best friends, that is not wild that Ariana does not want you to be her friend then.
I know. I really think Sheena's not understanding English right now.
No, I think this is Scheana. Like, I think Scheana wants to be friends with everybody and then she gets mad.
Did I say Scheana? That's what I meant. Yeah,
no, you did. I'm saying that like this is Scheana always does this where like she wants to be friends with everybody, and then when somebody doesn't want to be friends with her, it's like the woe is me. I can't believe they don't want to be friends with me, as if she has no responsibility in like anything she does in our friendships.
Yeah.
But there is this gray area. Ariana is fine with you being cordial to him,
forgiving him.
Yeah.
Whatever. So Lala says she gets it, but she doesn't want to see what happened to her happen to Ariana, where she cares what other people are doing. And Ariana's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
And Lala goes, yeah, you're getting heated that James is going to dinner. And I was like,
she is not heated.
Heated? I can't. Let me show you heated.
Yeah, heated. I thought the same thing. I was like, whoa.
Let me tell you, I'm about to get heated on Lala in a little bit, and it's not for what you think.
Good. Oh.
I'm about to, though.
Ooh.
So Katie, my bad bitch, she jumps in and she goes, Ariana made her stance very clear. And Lala's like, yeah, I understand that. And Katie's like, but you're applying your personal situation to every situation, and that's not it. And Lala's like, no, in reality, if we apply my situation, like, no one's going to like what I have to say. And Katie turns to Ariana and does that like, ooh, I'm so scared kind of like motion. And that Lala, if you will, gets heated and says, she gets mad. She's like, don't do that. And Katie's like, what kind of threat is that? You're not, wait, I like wrote quote for quote because this was awesome.
Good.
Katie says, what kind of threat is that? You're not going to like what I have to say? Then say it. Say it with your whole chest, bitch. And when I tell you, I have never, ever been this sexually attracted to Katie. I was like,
go off, queen. Well, I watched Love is Blind reunion last night, and somebody at that also was like, say it with your chest, bitch. I'm like, yeah, everybody say your shit with your chest.
I'm going to start saying, when I call people out, I'm going to start saying, say it with your chest.
I don't call people out unless I can one-sided do it off this podcast, but in my head, I'll say that.
This was dope, though. I just want to say, Katie Maloney, if you are still single, I want to marry you for this moment. I am so obsessed with you. I want to dress like, I want a single white female you. I'm so obsessed with you.
Katie's progression through these 11 seasons, incredible.
Amazing.
She's really coming to her own, unapologetic. I want to be her in that way. Like, I want to own me fully.
I'm in love with her, I think. Like, I literally paused it and I went, oh my God. Wow. That was amazing. So, Lala then gets mad and tells Katie not to talk to her like that. And Katie goes, you don't talk to me like that. And then Lala yells to because she's disengaging.
No,
Which
she's telling
bitch?
Katie to disengage.
Oh, I thought Lala was like, disengage.
I think she was telling Katie, like, disengage, like, back down, bitch. And I was like, Lala, you always
Oh,
try to be this hard ass. And
yeah.
normally people, like, cower to her. So she gets to be this tough girl. And, like, Katie is meeting her with this energy.
I thought she was playing a Meredith Marks where she's like, I'm
No,
disengaging.
because she was saying
Oh.
disengage. Like, basically, you need to.
Oh, I thought she was just, she talks in the third person, so I thought she just didn't
That's
know
true.
grammar. So Ariana steps in and is like, Lala, I think you're saying like it's worse for you. And Lala goes, it is. I live it every day. And fine, whatever. She'll never be rid of Randall because she's Ocean. But this is where I get heated with Lala. Let me tell you. She says in her interviews, like, that's why she knows harboring resentment like Ariana is will eat you alive. It's like drinking the poison. And I got pissed because I hate when people tell me, oh, you need to forgive and not have resentment or else that's your poison. No, bitch, I can live very happily with hate in my heart and I'm perfectly fine with it. I can hate you and sleep at night. Don't fucking tell me I need to forgive.
Lala also was very big on, like, Scheana's feelings not being validated by Ariana. Why can't Ariana have her feelings? Why can't she have hate in her heart?
When I tell you I could have fought Lala, I would just like to say, I live by the saying, forgive but never forget. I'll forgive you all day, every day, whatever. I don't really care. I will never forget what you did to me. And that is not for me to like live with resentment and always have it. It's so if you do it again, I'm not fucking surprised.
I also don't think Ariana is sitting out here with like so much resentment that's like crippling her life.
No, you can hate someone and still be fine.
That's the thing. I don't think it's like active hate. I think it's just literally like, here's a wall. I don't like you. You're not in my life type of hate. Like, I'm not dealing with this because I don't like you. Rather than like, she's not sitting at home stewing over Sandoval.
I could fight at people who are like, you should forgive for yourself. No, I'm good.
You are not the one to tell me.
Thank you, though.
And also,
I'll drink
again,
the poison.
It's been like between 3 and 5 months. Like, Lala, you have had time to heal from this. And I understand you are still probably actively going through Randall's shit. But the way you chose to deal with things, don't put that on Ariana. Don't you dare.
Lala has to deal with Randall. Ariana does not have to deal with Tom. So, like, Lala needs to some degree, be okay with Randall for Ocean's sake. Ariana doesn't need to do that. There are no kids involved. There's nothing there.
And once she's out of this house, like,
and we can hate.
We
can hate fine. Yeah, we're fine. So, fuck you. Anyway, so Katie's like, Lala, you're always saying, like, yours has to be bigger and badder. And Lala's like, are you kidding? You're making me go on defense mode. No. And Katie goes, so hot. I'm telling you. Katie goes, then defend yourself. And I was like, oh.
Katie was incredible in this argument. We both love a good argument. Like,
I am so obsessed with her.
Katie was winning this.
Katie's learned a lot about how to argue,
especially with Lala.
She used to suck. This is great. So, Lala is like, why are you bringing this out of me? God, I hate when people are like, you're bringing my feeling. I'm acting this way because of you. Get out.
Yes, because your reaction is honestly solely because of your life experiences, not what is going on.
So Katie says, it's just a bit much. And Lala says to Katie, you're a bit much all the time. So then Allie comes in and she goes, guys, we're all from different houses and moons and birth charts. And that's why astrology is great. Because we communicate different because of our moons and our rings and our Saturns and the stars.
It's all about, we just communicate differently, but you got to know it through your chart.
When I tell you Allie just wants everyone to leave. Like, at this
Allie's
point,
like, we're done with this argument. And I was like, Allie, I weirdly love how you just diffused this argument.
Well, what are no one could be mad at her. I'd be like, this bitch is crazy. I don't even know what to say to her.
Me walking out of that house, I would have been like, fuck the moons.
like at the time, you would have been so shocked and been like, yeah.
Because you're like stunned into silence off of this
I go home and I burn my birth chart. Like, I'm so mad. If I'm either one of them, I'm burning the birth chart.
Everyone at that. I'd be like, fuck this.
So Lala apologizes. She makes a joke about her birth chart.
She apologizes to Ariana and only Ariana.
Like, sorry. But Katie's still skeptical. And I have news on this. I know more about this fight. Did you I think I
I
sent
watched
it
the
to you.
TikTok that you sent me.
Yeah. So basically, Lala said on her podcast that her and Katie had a falling out before season 10. So they haven't really been as close. And they've
Before
been
season
trying
10's reunion.
before season 10's reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, right. Sorry. Because we're
No,
on
you're
season
good.
11.
So I was like, they were good.
I was like, we're on season 10, but no,
Yeah.
we're on 11. So we've had this for 11 years. Anyway, so before the reunion, they had a falling out. They weren't in like a great place. They've since like become in a better place, but they're still not really good friends.
Yeah.
So that's why they keep arguing and like going for each
And
other's
Lala said like
throats
there
and,
was
like,
an event, like something happened and she wouldn't talk about it on the podcast, but she said, "Oh, it will probably come up," which makes me think like this will probably be discussed at the like season 11 reunion.
yeah, but now I get it because for either one of them, because if I'm not friends with you anymore and I'm still pissed at you, probably everything you say I'm coming for.
I
But
want to know what
man,
happened.
let
though.
me tell you, Katie is amazing, and listen, I'm going first for Accepted and Blocked this week. I don't give a fuck. I have mine picked out, and I am fucking pumped about it. Still to come, James sees babies in his future, and Allie doesn't. That's a conversation. Katie and Schwartz are dating the same girl, which we know is Scheana's nanny, Tori.
I'm like, when does Tori really get brought up here?
Come
Let's
back.
go. Bring her in. Get Joe out. Get Tori in.
Sheena says she doesn't see a forever with Brock, which I think is edited. There's no way.
Well, I wonder if who she's talking about. She has to be talking about someone.
I don't know. Someone chokes. I watched this twice. I don't know who this person is.
I think it's Brock. Sheena like sprinted.
Brock chokes?
Yeah.
Oh no. That's why she didn't see a forever with him. She's taking him out. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
She's
God.
so burning him.
I was about to say. I mean, first Catherine, Princess Catherine, and now Brock.
We go on boats. Sandoval tries to talk to Ariana. Joe and Katie yell and Schwartz, and
that's the finale episode.
I'm gonna live for that. And then Sandoval's mad. Jax is here.
Ugh.
Sandoval tries to talk to Ariana. Sheena's really struggling mentally. It's wild. This reminds me of old Vanderpump. Like this, I was like.
Also, they're on a boat that like massive waves. I was very shook. I am very shook about that.
I gotta be honest. I love a massive wave. I'd be living. I'd be in. I love.
There's so much that has to go down in like 7 episodes.
I'm pumped. Honestly, this is. They reminded me of old Vanderpump watching that.
I'm excited about what's to come. I'm just annoyed about
the scene where
first half.
Brock chokes reminds me of that scene where, like, remember when James takes the fireball and everyone's like, James, and he goes, what? Where it's like chaos like that. I can't wait for Brock to choke if it's Brock. Obviously,
I think it is him. It's definitely a guy. Yeah.
Well, let's do Accepted and Blocked.
I'm
going to go first.
Go ahead.
I'm blocking Lala.
Okay.
Because, like, if you're going to be big and bad, say it with your whole chest, bitch, you know?
Yeah.
That's all.
For me,
I feel like we've talked enough. But
for
yeah.
me, it's Scheana. I can't with the little smirk about the backup dance. I don't think she's I don't think she actually cares about being friends with Ariana. She just doesn't want to be able to say she's not friends with Ariana, which is like so weird.
I'm accepting Katie. Yeah. I've never felt so obsessed with her in my whole life, but I'm going to think about her in this argument for the rest of my life.
Rent free, baby. Rent free.
I will pay rent to have that in my brain forever.
That's true. You're willing to store that.
I loved it so much.
I'm going Ariana. I think she's doing a really good job staying calm, expressing her boundaries that are just on her. She's not having any expectations with anybody else. She's just going to keep chugging along with life. And I loved watching her on Watch What Happens Live. She was so fun and flirty.
She was with John Oliver, who I heard was
oh my God, he was wearing the Brooks Marks like sweatsuit, and it was amazing. So funny.
He's so good.
Also, she's like breaking records with Chicago.
Yeah,
and it's been running for like 27 years, which is like awesome. Good for her.
Yeah.
So
okay, so we have thoughts from the Patreon. Mm-hmm. Lady Swamp Witch says like we should do a dramatic reading of the parts of the lawsuit. Lady Swamp Witch, you got to give us that. Like I don't know where I'm going to find that. But I love a dramatic reading.
I would love to do a dramatic reading of that fight with Lala and Katie just recently. I know you did both parts, but like I would like to audition.
Oh, okay, we could do that. I also love a dramatic reading of Rachel's podcast.
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
very
I
fun
mean, maybe
too.
we need to do these when we're together in person, a few little TikToks.
Ooh, I would love.
I'm a TikTok star, Mom.
Good idea. Good
TikTok
idea.
intern over here.
We're TikTok stars.
Rising star.
So Lauren, I think we have two Laurens, but this is Lauren B, just in case. Lauren B said, I enjoyed this episode so much and more. This is also our patron of the episode, so shout out. I think. No, it's not.
No, it's
Sorry,
not.
Lauren. Nope, I don't know what I'm doing. Cut this out, Sarah. No, leave it in. So Lauren says, I enjoyed this episode so much. Please give us more of the girls talking. I see everyone's side. Ariana is allowed to set boundaries. Katie has valid issues with Sandoval, and so glad she can finally share more of that. Scheana can miss her friend, and Lala can stand up for her friend.
Yeah.
The interesting part of this season is exploring the ramifications of a massive, ugly breakup amongst a friend group. Yeah, you know what? True. I'm wondering if Scheana really misses Sandoval or if she misses having a full friend group. Oh, because Schwartz misses the whole friend group.
I think so too. But he also didn't really I don't think him losing like Ariana as his friend is different than like Scheana losing Sandoval.
Oh, I'm interested now.
Now you're interested?
No, I've been interested, but I'm more interested. So the danger in having two of your friends date is the fallout if they go through a bad breakup. Yes, Lauren, and that is why I have a no dating friends
That's my
policy ever.
Yeah.
So, Lauren says, Joe is not my cup of tea, but I do like hearing Schwartz say nice things about a person who annoys everyone else. Schwartz still hates women, though.
Oh, 1,000%.
Well, I think Joe might be an alien, and that's why he likes her, because he hates human women. Okay, going in a different route and accepting Anne just for the thanks after Sandoval said he was dealing with his emotions in private. Yeah, that was awesome. And Allie for how she diffused the tension at girls' night and for calling Sandoval a loser. It was great.
Allie is always number one.
Rejecting James for taking Sandoval back. Listen to your woman. Allie can't have enough of an opinion. She just got here. She doesn't know.
I think she'll have some say in James's life. Like, I don't think like Sandoval's coming over to hang one-on-one.
No, I think Schwartz can bring his plans, but Sandoval's not allowed. You know, kind of. She's setting her boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now Tracy, our real patron of the episode. My apologies. I'm so stupid. Tracy says, I have some thoughts and I'm just gonna shoot them out bullet point style.
Alicia loves it.
Ariana is not trying to manipulate anyone. She is setting boundaries. You guys talked about this last episode. I'm not going to share information about myself to somebody who might relay it to a person I don't like. Agreed. I love how that Lisa talked to Rachel for hours, but Tom is blocked. It's also crazy that Tom complained about Rachel taking the side of the people at the mental health clinic and not him. It's like he doesn't even realize what he's saying out loud.
Yeah.
He's
that delusional. Like, it is truly just how his brain thinks.
Katie calling out Lala's bullshit was one of the best things in the episode. Lala saying that, quote, nobody's going to like what I have to say. And Katie responding with, quote, what kind of threat is that? If you're going to say it with your whole fucking chest, bitch. Lala might have been able to bully Rachel, but she can't do the same thing to Katie. No, Katie's like older and more mature and set. Like, no, fuck you. Katie's here to stay.
But Lala always wins arguments just by being louder and more aggressive. She's a bulldog, but like Katie's not going to stand for
Katie's here now. I also think like Katie grew into being a bad bitch, right? Yes. She started as one of Stassi's minions who honestly, first season watching it the first time, I didn't even know her name. I thought she was just Kristen's other person. Like, I was like, Kristen's
another brunette friend.
She kind of stepped into her own when like Stassi was mean to her, but then she kind of was like...
She kept climbing the staircase of being a bad bitch. Like she kept getting closer.
But like she would take a step back occasionally. And then I think the hindrance of Schwartz was really bad. I think like him putting her down. I think Sandoval putting her down. And
I think she became very insecure because of like her marriage. Like he never lifted her up. He always put her down.
And I think people in the friend group liked Sandoval, so they would put her down in her feelings. And then Stassi left and Kristen left, and she was kind of in this on her own. and she was like friends with people, but she was like growing those friendships. And now she lost a man child, thank God, that was dragging her down. She's become best friends with, let's say, the quote queen of the season,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Katie also has found her style. She's found a new haircut. She's figuring out who she is. She's dating women. She's just finding
She is
herself.
confident in her own zone, regardless of
Yeah.
what's going on her. But her ditching the man child and like having, a buddy in Ariana, like only helps it. Like it
Yeah.
only makes her light shine brighter.
Yeah. I love.
Mm-hmm.
Um Katie was right about Spooky Joe. Her energy is absolutely bizarre. Yeah, Katie called her a crackhead, and I'll never unsee it.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Schwartz and Joe having very different ideas on what their situation is makes me hate Schwartz. He's saying it's a lot less serious than she is, and I know he's telling her something differently when they are
Yes.
outside the show. Yeah, of
I
course.
really give
'Cause
her credit for that. Or like it's sad to watch because
I don't
it's
think she has shame. I think
well,
she's
I also agree with that. But it's like it's sad. It makes me sad to watch Schwartz like play with someone because we've all been in that situation where they feel
true. Yeah,
something and then they're saying something different and it's like only causing confusion. So she's probably sticking around because he's leading her on.
yeah.
It's a situationship. It is a classic situationship.
Situationship. So Tracy accepts Katie and blocks Schwartz for being a fuckboy. And then also justice for Katie. She's had to deal with Sandoval always attacking her and
Mm-hmm.
having a real negative impact on her marriage. And she has never shown getting very much support from anyone. Agreed. Which I was guilty of it too. But
Yeah.
in our defense as viewers, all of us, we are given a skewed episode
Yeah.
to go off of, and we know now, like years later, that they really do give like Sandoval a hero at it, and now we're seeing it. He's even like
And
painted as the villain, and
society
he's
was a lot
still,
different,
yeah.
12 years ago.
But even that, we're given a fake reality,
Yes,
right? Like this
yes.
isn't real. We're given what the producers want us to see, and the producers want us
I
to see
agree.
Sandoval as like the golden boy.
Yeah.
And now we see it because he's not, and they're still trying to show us that.
It must also be triggering though for Katie, where it's like I have for years lamented about this. You've finally seen it for yourself and had like a really horrible self-destructive like or group destructive like moment, and then Scheana still wants to be friends with him. Like, what the fuck?
I know. I'd be like, you're
Is this not
crazy.
enough for you?
You're crazy.
Like, what
Yeah.
will it take for him to just completely like for you to walk away from this friendship?
You're crazy.
He's gonna have to steal Summer Moon.
Oh God, he's gonna have to no, because he already blocked her. Yeah,
That's the thing.
he's gonna break her other arm.
Oh
She's
my
gonna be like,
god.
fuck. Yeah, I know. We're like, so last one, tyranny. Tyranny. You give me a whole fucking paragraph. Let's get through this. Let's do it. Tyranny says, "I'm back from the cruise."
Oh yeah, we've been DMing. She like went on a cruise with like
amazing.
yeah, she was gonna miss some stuff, but she caught up and like she
She's
had a great
back.
time on the cruise.
2 weeks worth of episodes and not commenting started making me twitchy. Anyway, overall, good episode. I agree. This was a really fun episode.
Yeah.
I was in it. Allie is seriously all of us during every episode, and I'm loving her interviews. I liked her last season, but she's growing on me even more. Agreed. I love her.
I want her to be a full cast member.
This was truly Katie's episode. She was finally able to say all the things about Sandoval that she hasn't been able to out of love and loyalty to Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
During the girls' night, when she said she was a man in a previous life and in the chair, and hang on, and in the chair said, I have big dick energy. I almost did a spectate with my coffee this morning. I'm all for her standing up for what she believes and then even putting Lala in her place. As someone who is always like Lala, I'm so disappointed in her this season.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that in her way, she's attempting to give Ariana some perspective on how not to be bitter or whatever. However, it needs to be said, they picked up cameras 3 months after Scandival broke.
Yeah.
I know. There's
and that's
no
like a
grace.
one-on-one conversation you have to be like, hey, like I'm worried that you're going to become whatever. But Lala's very like accusatory with this stuff. Like,
yeah,
you have a lot of hate in your heart, and it's like, have you talked to her?
also,
I don't think she has
down. Literally, calm down.
Let her have that hate.
I love the hate in my heart. Anyway, at this point, using the Barbie movie as reference, thanks, Anne, it's been like 4.5 months. Wow, good job. I don't think Lala would have been okay if Randall was brought back on VPR and was forced to film with her and her friends the way Ariana
Mhm.
has been. Even if the legal issues with Ocean weren't going on, Lala would have lost her shit every time someone said they were with him. Agree. She did
She lost her shit and they weren't even
on
on a show together.
Schwartz. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now on to Scheana. Sigh. Scheana keeps comparing a friendship to basically what was the common law marriage. Ariana has never said that people cannot forgive Sandoval. What Ariana has done has created a hard boundary and has basically said if he's going, she isn't. Sandoval went to Tahoe. Ariana is still hanging out with Allie, Lala, and Scheana. Scheana is looking for Ariana's approval to befriend Sandoval again,
Mhm.
not just forgiveness. That's my take, at least. You're pretty
And she
correct.
weaponizes that it's like Ariana isn't validating her emotions. That's
Yeah,
not what you're looking for. You're looking for a
no.
green light to be friends with this
Yeah.
horrible human being.
But Ariana's not the one to sympathize at this point.
Mm-mm.
Tierney says one last thing about Scheana. The whole dancing with the stars thing, that was hilarious. And the backup dancer comment when she was in the chair. That fucking smirk. Yeah, it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Ariana calls her out for that one at the reunion.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, and
Same.
I'm now on the bandwagon with Joe. I'd rather have thirsty Billy Lee than her.
Same.
Literally, the bathtub
Yes.
scene was way better than anything with Joe.
I've never like really hated Billy Lee on my screen. Like I don't mind her as a friend of, especially like Sandoval needs people to record with. Like,
She hits her beats. She's
yes.
not that annoying. She's
She can
fine.
have a normal fucking conversation with Sandoval doing a
Joe?
weird ass thing. Sandoval was the Joe of that scene.
Yeah, if you guys are like listen to me recapping what Joe and Schwartz were talking about. I have no clue what happened. And I watched it twice. It was painful both times. So, Katie was right. She's a creep. The after show was a weird one. Oh God,
I couldn't
Tierney.
get through it.
They brought
I
out the
turned it
cast of
off.
the Valley, and it was basically our introduction to them and how they know the Vanderpump Rules cast. Nothing too much other than James knowing that the sunglasses was Sandoval trying to buy his friendship. He also said that he lost them the same night. And if
Oh
whoever
my
was
god.
or has them brings them to see you next Tuesday, he'll sign them. Ooh, I wish I had them.
I hope they were like $2,000 and Sandoval just wasted that.
They made him look like Elton John.
They were so bad.
Also, Jax went off about Katie and
That was in
what?
it was in the very small clip of like what's to come on the after show, and that turned me off immediately. He went on like a rant about Katie, and then they showed all these Valley people, and I was like, no, no.
Okay, so Jax went off about Katie and showing his ass again about how much he hates her. So I'm sure that'll somehow work its way into a storyline. Why are we listening to him? Like, ugh.
I don't know. He was like commenting, I think, on the girls sitting at that restaurant, and like Katie is always stirring shit up. She's always on her phone, like ready to stir up gossip. Da 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 da. Da. And I'm like,
Who are you?
Jax,
Go
you're the
eat.
one who started so much drama on Vanderpump about your
Literally,
own life.
go put on your chunky sweater and eat your mama's beer cheese and shut the fuck up. Keep watching the show and riding its coattails right into the valley, baby. Shut the fuck up.
Have you heard the rumor that Jax and Brittany are separated because he's not cool that she lost the weight and then gained it back?
Yeah, I heard that rumor. Of course, probably. I mean, like
I
I obviously don't know why they're separated. Truthfully, I don't care. But probably you could tell me almost anything bad about Jackson. I'd go, yeah, he probably
until I see
cheated.
divorce like papers being filed,
I also don't
I
believe
don't
it.
believe it. And
I
get
also
out of that
don't
marriage
care.
is all. I care about her being out of that marriage, and that's about it.
Unless it's fake, then fuck you. You know?
Yeah.
Whatever. Tierney says, I'm sure I'm missing things and I'll kick myself later for not adding them. Anyway, accepted this week is definitely Katie. She was a queen and blocked I'm giving to Schwartz just because he's forcing Joe on us. Keep your friends with benefits off my TV.
So true. He deserves that blocking.
Agreed. Anyway, now I'm pissed about Jax. You want to get heated? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you literally have no money. You had to come back to Bravo.
His clip was Sandoval, Schwartz, and him. during the after show, and I was like, no, nope, I'm
Yeah,
not doing
because
this.
that's what we want to see. Let me tell you, when I say I know there's only technically 2 people that were here from the beginning still on the show, there is only one I care about, and that is Katie. And she is holding this show. Well, Scheana, whoops. I was counting her and I was counting Katie Sandoval. Sorry, Scheana.
I have bad news too. Next week is the episode Jax is on.
I don't care if he's on, but the minute he starts talking shit about Katie, I'm pissed. Because
Yeah.
those boys hate Katie for zero fucking reason other than she clocked their bullshit the minute they all got together. Even Schwartz, she clocked his fucking bullshit
Well, they
all
were
the
mad.
time.
They like, and this isn't what I believe, but like she took away their friend because like they got married and it like changed the dynamic and they couldn't just
Your friend's
go
a
be
giant
boys.
ass fucking loser.
Yeah. Um,
He's a loser.
I am
Sorry.
not watching The Valley. I was maybe gonna watch it
I'm
behind
not.
the scenes and like report on it on my like Bravo takes
I
on
don't want to give
Patreon.
it one
I
view.
don't want to give it an ounceage of time.
And I
And if it,
encourage everyone to do the same.
I
Honestly, we
agree.
don't need to
And
know
if
what
it gets
happens.
canceled, I'm maybe interested in going back and watching it. But
Yes, if it gets canceled, I'll definitely give it views.
yeah, but
But
I'm not
I
watching
want Jax Taylor to stop being shoved down my goddamn throat.
it.
If
Same.
he's going to be this big a goddamn effing hater about someone who didn't post problematic shit and didn't
That's the
get
thing.
kicked off the show.
That's it. I'm like, I don't want to support him in any way.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your whatever's happening in your marriage. Fuck your show. I hope it fails. The only reason I cheer for it a little is because of Kristen Doty. But the fact that you would do this show with Jax, I'm just like, fuck you too. Fuck
Yeah.
everyone on the show with Jax.
Agreed.
Anyway, if you're not rooting for Katie at the end of this episode, you deserve to not listen to our
Fuck you
podcast.
too.
Yeah, fuck you too. Do all the things. Meredith, anything before I sign us off?
No.
See you next week. But forget what you heard and remember where you heard it first.